global infectious disease researchers are tracking the dramatic rise of infection outbreaks from Clostridium Dificille.
C. diff is a spore-forming organism, and what that means is that the bacteria can linger for periods of time.
And it causes a spectrum of symptoms in humans when it infects humans.
Primarily a disease that's recognized by diarrhea, but it causes other symptoms. It may cause nausea, abdominal pain.
And in some cases can lead to side effects such as toxic megacolon, which is potentially life-threatening.
Your risk of C. diff infection or CDI increases with age, antibiotic treatment, and time spent in hospitals or nursing homes, where multiple cases can lead to infection outbreaks.
Anyone can be vulnerable to C. diff, particularly if you've had courses of antibiotic.
Antibiotics change the environment inside our intestinal tract that make it easy for C. diff to begin to grow, to produce the injury that we experience as the C. diff illness.
C. diff can be spread between patients through contact with contaminated objects, surfaces, or hands.
The pathogen can live on inanimate objects in the hospital and elsewhere such that it can be spread without knowing.
The spore-forming nature of the organism makes it difficult to remove from the environment, even with very extensive and good hygiene, and it can elude the best decontamination procedures.
It's also something that we've seen is increasing in prevalence over the last several years.
If this is the first infection you've had, the incidence of recurrence can generally be somewhere in the order of 20 to 30%. If this is your second recurrence, the recurrence rate in those people can be as high as 50%.
C. diff is a major public health concern, not only in the United States, but all over the world.
We're finding more and more cases, and the CDC has actually reported close to or approaching 500,000 cases of C. difficile infection in the U.S. alone.
In fact, between 2004 and 2007, we've noted over a 400% increase in the incidence of C. diff compared to what we noted this past decade.
I had a routine surgery, felt fine after the surgery, and about 3 weeks later started not feeling well. So I had diarrhea, severe cramps, and this went on for a couple weeks. I thought I had perhaps, caught some kind of a bug. I was severely sick. I was dehydrated. My husband was away on a business trip. Thank God my neighbor came over to check on me. I was incapacitated, so she got me to the hospital. I was immediately admitted, and I was immediately diagnosed with C. diff.
It was hard for the patient. They were isolated from the other patients. They're isolated actually probably from their family, and they're incontinent. It's terrible. It's demoralizing.
My mother developed diarrhea, and so she called in sick to work that Friday. Didn't think anything of it. She taught 25 5-year-olds all day, and so once or twice a year she'd catch something.